and then you just hold it. You hold it for about 8 seconds, and then you bring it back up again. We outstretch your fingers at the top back part of the shoulders. Bring your thumbs down as far as they come comfortably. Feel for the shoulder blades and come just inside. And we get a grip. I'm using my fingers and my thumbs. Now, an ordinary massage stroke would look like this. But what we actually do is we lift the wrist this way, so that I'm holding her equally with the thumbs and the fingers. And then I come up in a straight line inside the shoulder blade, slowly, until I come to the corner of the shoulder blades, and then I just outstretch my fingers out to the edge of the shoulders and draw my thumbs along the flat part of the bone, the spine of the scapula, out to the edge, and the pressure is slightly lighter. V-neck. V-neck ends here. It's just outside the base of the neck, right? And it starts here, so it's in the shape of a V-neck. It's either side of the spine. So the lower part is like between T2 and T3. But if you don't understand that terminology, it's just like as if the person was wearing a V-neck jumper backwards. You have your thumb either side. Now, when we're doing this stroke, we really want to avoid putting any pressure on the front of the shoulders. So when I'm using my fingers on this one, I use my 3 fingers, and I use that part of the fingers. And I'm going in a straight line, heading for just outside the base of the neck. And when I get to the end of the stroke, I just hold it. You place the length of the fingers along the middle of the highest point of the shoulders, which is towards the back of the neck. Right? This is just to get our position. You'll bring your thumbs to about 1/2 an inch to 3/4 of an inch behind that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go along that line. We're going to do several strokes along that line until we hit bone. So here we are. We have the length of the index finger. Bring our thumbs to 3/4 of an inch behind, and then place your fingers out of the way. Right? And then you bring your wrists slightly ahead of your thumbs, so your elbows are up, and you press straight down gently until you get to a pressure the person would like, which would you find out by asking, how's that pressure?
Perfect.
Okay, so you hold 2, 3, 4, 5, lift off, and then again straight down gently, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, lift off. So you do it loads of times going out along that line. So you keep going, and again, the way I'm doing the stroke is not to put any strain on the thumb joint. That's why my elbows are up. We're using this part of the the hand, this part of the hand here, okay? So with this one we have straight elbows. We place this part of the hand on the top of the shoulders, just clear of the neck. And we have, as I said before, our elbows are straight. You connect in a little bit, and then it moves itself. It just it's like a lateral stretch on the top of the shoulder, and it just goes over the edge of the shoulders. The left hand is on top. Bring the head slightly forward, and then if this is the base of the neck here, so this is the base of the neck. A lot of people, they look at, if you just ask them where was the base of the neck, they'd probably say there, but actually is here. That's the base of the neck. So we're working above the base of the neck. We have 3 fingers on one side, thumb on the other. You squeeze them together, and they just meet by the middle of the neck. And then you spread your fingers, and you get a firm pressure coming down to the middle of the neck. So you go under the hair, and you're kind of up to that height on the head. Bring them down, keeping the pressure, especially when you come onto the neck. Those top of the neck muscles love this. Is that okay in your hair, Joyce?
Yes, oh yes.
It always looks like it'll pull the hair, but it doesn't. But I always ask anyway. So, and then the third stroke is you have fingers on one side, thumb on the other, and this is more gentle. And you nestle your fingers in your thumb and pause, and then you suction backwards. So it looks like that. So the way the stroke goes, you go 1 up, 1 down, and 1 out. 1 up, one down, one out. And to get the right pressure this way, you don't have to use a lot of strength with your hands. It's more of a squeeze with the fingers and the thumbs. If you have your hand too low, your wrist too low, you won't get pressure. If your wrist is too high, you won't get pressure. So your wrist has to be at this angle, and your wrist is up, but your third finger is on. So that's the best angle, and you just keep it at that angle, and you squeeze the fingers and thumb together. So one up, one down, and then one out. So this one's called underskull friction. Excuse me. Using the middle finger, and we're going to work under the base of under the occiput. That's the base of the skull. So what you do is, with your left hand on top, you're standing right around the left side. You bring your middle finger on to the skull, and you slide it under. You slide it under, and then when you get underneath the occiput, you pause. And you press upwards towards, I'm pressing up towards this hand, so I'm pressing up this way. So you, with one finger, with the middle finger, so I press up into the bone, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, lift off. Oh, sorry, press into the bone, and then I jiggle side to side, lift off. Press in, 2, 3, 4, 5, jiggle side to side, lift off. Press in, 2, 3, 4, 5, jiggle side to side, lift off. How's that, Joyce? No comment. Good, oh good. Okay, see this part of the hand here, we're using the middle of this part of the hand, okay? So you have the left hand on top, the head again is slightly tilted back, and we're going to go over and back along the edge of the occiput. So we're sandpapering. So short and fast strokes. Using, this one's called windscreen wipers, okay? So we're using this part of the hand, the ball of the hand. And we're sandpapering, but it's going like a windscreen wiper, okay? So we're standing in the middle, the left hand supports the head. You start behind the right ear, you go to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back, swap hands to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back, until you get to the other side, and then you retrace your steps until you get back to the other side. And then the next one's called hairstyle bowling. It's upward glancing blows with the middle finger, so it's like a dart. So again, this one is memory stimulating, circulation stimulating, energizing. And this one's called apple crumble. You support the head with the left hand, and you do a suction friction with the lengths of the fingers. The thumbs are equally involved, thumb is equally involved, so the stroke comes upwards. And so you keep alternating sides. And you support the head with the free hand. It's a very soothing stroke. And the thumbs and the fingers are equally involved. The next one's called press in and squeeze. So we use the whole of the palms of the hands. So we're above the middle of the ears, the elbows are out, and you press in with it, and the hands are not that way, they're up. So you press in with the whole of the palm of the hand with a firm pressure. Hold, pause. Release the pressure, but keep a nice contact as you bring the hands up. So we do that 3 times above the middle of the ears. 3 times slightly behind, the strokes overlap. And 3 times slightly in front. And then the next stroke is called hair grasping. It's the only stroke we do actually on the hair itself. So it's like scrunching. So basically you grasp the hair and let it go, but you're not tugging it. This one is very good for strengthening the hair, stimulates the circulation to the roots of the hair, very good for fine hair. And the last stroke on the head is called hair washing. So it's like the best shampoo you never got. So the thumbs come down under the occiput, we're massaging deep into the skull. Very invigorating, very satisfying. And then every so often you anchor your thumbs at the back corner of the head and you do slow movements forward with the tips of the fingers with a slightly lighter pressure. then you come back to the more vigorous strokes. And then the lighter strokes. And that's the end of the work on the head.